What is up, guys? Andrew here, and welcome to Comicbooker. All things comics from a creator. You may be wondering what this video has to do with comics. If you think about it, the popular idea of comics is that they feature masked heroes who risk their lives for others and work for our common good. Except Wolverine. Wolverine can be a bit of a mess. Anyway, these heroes exist in real life, but they don't get nearly the amount of fanfare or credit that they deserve. So today we're gonna make art that honors these heroes. Let's do it! So it's April 29 and we're nearly into our 7th week of the coronavirus lockdown. The quarantine has really taken its toll on people, and personally, I've been struggling with feelings of anxiety and uselessness. I've been doing my part with social distancing and all that stuff, and I've been making a bunch of pieces inspired by all the stuff that's happening all over the world right now. But when I think about my friends and family who are health workers or maintenance people, basically people who are out there right now putting their lives at risk to fight this pandemic and to keep society going in all this, I wonder if I could maybe do more to help. Flashback to a few days ago when I got a phone call from my friend with an amazing opportunity. The chance to take part in a charity event organized by Main Street Pops to benefit shelters, COVID relief funds, and frontliners. And so they sent me this. This is called the H Strong sign, a community symbol for Hoboken City, which is just across the Hudson River from Manhattan, New York. This symbol is everywhere in Hoboken, from murals to trash cans to fire stations and police stations. I'm one of 10 local artists who have been given the task of making a custom H Strong sign to be auctioned off this coming May to raise money in support of first responders and people in need during this time. The deadline is tight, so let's get started. Oh, we have a problem. If you look at this H, it's made of wood, but it seems to be gessoed, which protects the wood from absorbing any paint or pigment that goes on it. Ideally, I would use acrylics to paint something like this, but my acrylic paints are all trapped in a locker in Manhattan right now. So I need to work with what I have right here. We'll figure it out. I have these markers. Let's do a little test. This side is clean, so let's use this back side. No to Copics. They're too transparent. No. I'm worried that these Sharpies are not light fast, and so they're gonna fade over time. The microns seem to be archival, and they adhere. Mostly. Let's see if I have anything else here. I usually have like stuff. Watercolors. What's that? Some cool stuff. Colored pencils. Oh my god! Okay! Yay! Acrylics! Okay, let me get out of here. Alright, we are in business. It's a small set. I think I bought this to gift to someone, but it'll do. We're in business. Let's do this. Okay, to start, it's a weird shape. So I need to sketch out a design that will work with it. I'm thinking of a classic row of figures standing at different distances, with their heads all aligned on the horizon line. Once that's set, I draw directly on the piece. I'm using an HB mechanical pencil, and it's a smooth drawing process because I can easily erase the graphite if I need to make corrections. I prefer to draw the whole face whenever possible, but for this project, I think it's important that everyone be wearing masks to reflect the times that we're living in. This will fit neatly on the horizontal bar of the H, leaving the vertical ends for sky and cityscape. I make sure my figures vary in size, with the smallest and farthest figure at the center. This distant character will serve as a flexible cipher who can represent any frontliner that the viewer knows. It's tricky drawing around the sides, but I do my best to continue the drawing on the perpendicular plane. I draw my firefighters and postal workers there, flanking my main design. Alright, I'm all done. Pencils are, I think, solid. It's a little too detailed though. I'm not sure how much detail I'll be able to preserve in the final, but we'll soldier on. Right now, I should probably start painting. So for that, I'm gonna need the palette. I don't have a palette because it's stuck in Manhattan. So I'm gonna use some of this tinfoil. The painting part of this project is pretty straightforward. I have 3 major sections of color, and the palette I'm using is more muted than my usual. I think of color here like music. I stay away from aggressive, saturated tones because I'm going for a gentler, more tender feeling. Part of the process necessitates covering up most of the pencil work I did earlier, which is a little scary. But like in classical atelier-style painting, I trust myself to find the drawings again later. And anyway, I fully expected to lose some detail in the final, so I don't stress too hard about it. The drawing is almost always better the second time you do it. Okay, so now that I've got the major color blocks down, I want to give my piece some definition. And ideally, I would have some Posca markers, which are acrylic markers, but I don't. Anyway, I managed to find 2 acrylic markers. This is a Sharpie white and a Molotow black. We're gonna make this work. Let's do it. At this stage, all the structural work I did earlier starts to pay off. The markers have a pretty even thick width, so I have to choose my lines carefully. That's much easier since I know that these colored silhouettes hold solid drawings underneath. Detailed areas like the eyes have to be summarized, but I'm using the marker to go for a more graphic comic book look, so it all works together. I'm really starting to groove here. The full contrast of the piece starts to show, and I'm seeing the final piece appear right before my eyes. Wow. Okay, so I feel like my piece is lacking just a little bit of texture at this point, so I'm gonna go to my favorite texture tool, and that's gonna be my secret weapon, this little toothbrush. But I'm not gonna use it as a toothbrush. I'm gonna use it to splatter some paint on. Yeah. Okay, that's looking pretty good so far. The cool thing about acrylic is that it dries really fast, like within minutes, so this shouldn't take too long. Lastly, I paint the back of the piece black and use the white Sharpie to write in a quote from one of my favorite poems, The Last Hero. A great deep heart, like the hearts of old, how all the story of Earth was told. The poem is from World War I, and it talks about the timeless heroism of soldiers during a time when the tides of change seemed to make them small. I think it's appropriate for this piece. This pandemic is a seemingly impossible, huge, invisible thing that the world is fighting right now. But when I think of all these brave people out there, I'm less afraid. These people give me hope. And here's the finished piece. Even with the constraints on time and materials, I think it turned out pretty cool. If you're interested in this piece or want to check out what the other artists have done with their H's, I'll leave a link down below in the description. The online auction is on May 15, I think. All proceeds of that will go towards COVID relief funds, shelters, and our dear frontliners. If you're watching this after May 15, I think they're still making t-shirts and merch and other stuff, so make sure to check out the links in the description because I'll be updating those as new info comes in. That's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider liking and subscribing because it really helps the channel out. I try to make new videos every week, and if you hit the bell icon, you'll get a notification when I put a new video up. And hit me up in the comments below. I love hearing what you guys have to say. Until next time, this is Andrew, signing off. Peace. Yeah, no, the swipe thing, no, I'm getting really good at it. So you just like swipe at the camera and it's like a transition. I'm like, you know, hey, this is Andrew and I'm signing out.